Alright, so we've just finished talking a little bit about getting the skimming head stuff, as well as a little bit about environment variables. Now we're going to talk about actually making plots, because that's going to be another thing that we want to do. We've already created a job that compiles our skimming binary. We've created a job that takes the skimming binary and creates a skimmed root file. Now we want to make plots from that root file. So this is a little bit starting to become a little bit more on your own because at this point you've learned everything you need to do. However, I will show you the command that we need to run here. This command is python histograms.py. We pass in the skim ggh, we specify ggh, and then we want to create a hist underscore ggh.root. So we should add it to our GitLab CI file, and there's nothing else in this tutorial, so let's talk it through here. So, back to our CI file. So, we need to add artifacts. But of course, we need to add in a plot stage. So, that's our first step. Let's call that a plot stage. We need to add in a plot ggh job. Let's see here. We would want to do the script python histograms.py. What was it? Python histograms.py skim ggh.root ggh hist ggh.root. Great. That doesn't look too bad here. And let's see here. Artifacts. Paths. Hist ggh. Because we need an artifact, right? Expires in 1 week. Expire in 1 week. Alright, so this is pretty much all we need to do, which doesn't look too bad. Also, I'm wondering about this image that we need to use for the planning job. It looks like I didn't give myself any hints here. Looks like we shouldn't use the hello world job. So let's go ahead and delete the greeting stage and get rid of the hello world. Alright, so, this image here I didn't really specify anything about. So, I wonder if I can just use a Python image. But let's look at histograms.py and no, so you can see it needs root. So we still need to have that root image. That's fine. So I will just go ahead and add in the image line here. Root project, root conda 6.18.04. And is that all I need to do? Nope, because I need to specify the plot stage here. And then I need to tell it to grab the right skim ggh file. So I need to specify the dependencies, and it's the skim ggh job, which makes the skim ggh artifact that I need. Am I missing anything else here? I have the plot stage, the dependencies, specify the image of the script, which should just produce the output, and then I have artifacts for the output for the path that expires in a week. So I guess this is just another script with another job, another stage, and another artifact. Another script, job, stage, artifact. Let's see what those changes were. So that looks pretty good, and that looks pretty straightforward to me. So we'll still have 3 stages, and we will have, I believe, 4 jobs over 3 stages. So let's see what that looks like. And I guess this time, since it's starting to be a little bit more complex, we can go ahead and look here. Alright, so build skim and build skim latest are being running parallel first in the build stage. And then we'll go ahead and skim that. And then we'll go ahead and plot that. And the plot will store that artifact as well. I want to do something with the artifact, which I think I'll save for the next video. So let's go ahead and wait for this to finish, just so that we can see what things look like. You can see that we've been adding artifacts for some of these previous jobs as well. So now we're able to download artifacts at a given point in time, which is fantastic for us. Alright, looks like this is almost done. So we'll hang on while this finishes up. Let's begin and see what this is. Of course, it's still pulling the Docker image. One thing that I might as well point out is, we're not quite testing anything yet. I mean, on some level, we are checking that the code compiles, which is a good thing. We are checking that the code runs, the skimming code, which is also a good thing. We're also checking that we're able to plot histograms, root histograms, using the Python script, which is also a good thing because maybe you change the Python script and you still want to be able to make sure you get the same output. Perhaps you refactor or add in some new functionality or change the style. All of these, yes, in a way, are you're actually testing something. But are you actually testing against physics? Not necessarily. But that's not a problem right now because testing code is an important part about having reproducible physics. So, skimming is happening right now. Let's peek into that. And again, it's pulling these Docker images. Zern has a lot of shared runners, so they don't all share the cache for these images, so sometimes it takes a little bit longer than you expect. I mean, so far everything runs in under 2 minutes, which I'm pretty happy with. It just means that for a tutorial video like this, there's not a lot you can do to fill in this silence. It looks like it's processing things okay. It processed the input. Alright, upload that artifact and okay. Let's go on to the next job in this pipeline, plotting. Let's watch it go. And hopefully it should work. What else could I talk about as part of the tutorial? Not much. I mean, so far the tutorial's been doing a pretty good job, especially after all this time. You expect by now something would break. But I guess it hasn't, which is a good part of the continuous integration because I get to test out this tutorial from time to time. Alright, so it should start running any time now because it generally takes about 45 seconds to a minute 15 seconds for the Docker image to pull. There we go. And then it starts running the Python script. It looks like it produced some histograms, which is great, and so all good to go. And this job passed, and therefore this entire pipeline succeeded. And that's the end of this section. Tune in next time.